Hello everyone, we are back at TISS Old Campus in one of the classrooms, and we're sitting with ODCL people. It's a mix of first year students, and we have one second year student as well. So I'll start with brief introduction. I'll request everybody to introduce themselves briefly.
Hi, my name is Gargi Huria. I come from Delhi. I have done my graduations in Bachelor's of Management Studies from Mumbai University, and I have an experience of 4+ years in domains of tax, strategy, and operations. And I have done so throughout my career, I was associated with Ernst & Young.
Hello, my name is Mayur Talware. I am from Nagpur and I'm a mechanical engineering graduate from D.Y. Patil College of Engineering, Pune. After my graduation, I worked as a research analyst in a market research firm. After that, I went on to join the Indian Army. I was training at Indian Military Academy, and after that, I decided to join the ODCL course for the 22 batch. And it's been 2 years now, and like colleges are not officially over. So yeah, we'll be exiting from the campus.
Hello everyone, my name is Sabha Parveen and I have done Electronics and Communication graduation from MS Ramaiah Institute of Technology, Bangalore. Post that 4 years I was working with Oracle as a cloud consulting, and after that I decided to join TISS ODCL, and I'm a first year student, and this year has been great and phenomenal so far.
Hello, I am Abhishek Marathe. I'm right here from Chembur, Mumbai. I completed my graduation in chemistry from Mumbai University in 2020. Subsequently, I worked in the manufacturing sector as supervisor for a little over 2 years. And for the past 1 year that I've been here, the journey has been incredible.
So next, I'll ask everybody to kind of diverge into what strikes you about TISS. So when you came to TISS, or before coming to TISS, you might be having certain expectations about the college, what sort of people would be there, kaisa hoga mahal, and all those things. And after coming, it's been like 1 year at least for you and 2 years for you. What would you remember about the college for the last 1 and 2 years? So we can start with you. Yeah, sure.
So in the last 2 years, what I've seen is this is a very inclusive campus. Like you can see with not only within the course, but within the college also, you can find people from different backgrounds, different states, and you have that kind of environment, and that is very well known in TIS across India as well. So that is something that I came to appreciate over time. After that, I would say one of the things that stuck with me that I will always remember is my experience in leadership as a service project. So this is something that we do in the second semester, and we engage with clients in a consultative framework. So it's not an internship, but it's a leadership as a service project where we connect with the companies and help them solve some issues. So that was something that was very memorable, because that was not an individual internship. We went there as a team of 6 people, so we had a lot of fun. We engaged with the top management of the companies, and that was a very good learning. We had fun along the way. So that is something that I will always remember. And third thing is, like, the campus is always lit. Like there is some function, some festival, something is always going around. So it's good to see that part of the life, as it's not like other B schools where you just come, like, do your classes, assignment, projects. So it's more than that.
The thing that will most stick with me after a year, it'll be the classroom discussions for sure, because we all come from different backgrounds, and the classroom discussions start from one perspective, ends in another perspective. So this will stick with me.
Adding on to the similar lines, one thing I really appreciated is the fieldworks that we get over here, the internships, different industries, different companies. So all of our classmates, they have multiple opportunities. And going in the fieldwork, in the internship for 1 month or 2 months, we have our friends who are not just our colleagues, but we connect on different level, and you have multiple opportunities to learn, even working as a professional. So that is something I believe can go a long way in our careers.
For me, the most memorable parts of TISS for the past 1 year have been the opportunities that I've received, which have helped me in my growth. For example, in my first field internship, I was able to report directly to the CHR of a big organization, and I also got a chance to go on a 3-day retreat along with the entire managerial team, right from the general manager up to the chairman of that group. So the things that I got to learn from them, from such senior people, it will have a lot of effect on my career. Secondly, even now in my second field internship, I along with Sabha, we are working on a leadership development project with the CEO of an organization. So I think TISS provides you with such opportunities which other interns of other colleges in India, they don't really get. So this has been the most important part.
So now let's indulge ourselves into some how the classrooms happen and what sort of schedule everybody has on a day-to-day basis, and is it very strenuous? It's very stringent, or it's chilled out? What sort of things are there?
So over the 2 years, what I have seen is it's not as much stringent. At some points of time it is, but it's not always the case. So we always talk about work-life balance in organizations and all, but what about college life? So at some point of time it will be stringent, it will be difficult, it will take you long hours, there will be classes scheduled on Saturdays, Sundays from 9 to 5, but it's not always the case. There are sometimes which are difficult, and then some are not, some days are not always the same. And second thing that I would add in terms of classrooms is the subjects are pretty thorough. You get to learn about finance, marketing like other B schools, but something that is specific to our course is the subjects are oriented towards organization structure, behavior, how organizations function, how different things can organization grow their effectiveness along with efficiency. So this is something that is unique to our course. That is what I believe. Also, because other people have also mentioned that people from different backgrounds come into this place, so that adds a lot to the quality of the lectures that we have. What kind of inputs we are getting, what kind of conversations happens. It is a lot richer than I expected it to be.
So when it comes to classes and the master's course, so we are enrolling for a master's course, so it will be a little stringent in terms of timings. But as you all know that we come from a work ex, so it is not as hectic as a work day, but it is not as chill as a graduation schedule would be. So whenever we go to classes and we have strict schedules, we do give our feedback to the faculty that the schedule is getting a little hectic for us and we need to prepare more for our class discussions. Then there is a room to wiggle around. So that is not as stringent as any other B school would be.
Well, I would definitely say the classes do get hectic and stringent. But one thing is there's a lot of learning opportunities. There's always room for discussion with the faculties, be it anything regarding the case studies or the submissions that we have. But at the end, we are, like Gargi mentioned, we are enrolling ourselves for masters. So that is given. Apart from that, this is a campus which is always welcoming. Be it daytime, nighttime, it is always open for students. The library is open till for long hours, and you're always welcome at the campus. So you never feel that you are somebody outside. The campus is always welcoming you.
So TISS is actually a very diverse campus, and even in ODCL we've got people from different industries with different experiences. So they bring in different experience and different angles to anything that we are studying in the class. Just as you observed here, all three of them had a different take on a simple question. So even in our classroom lectures, people bring in such different angles, and so especially because of our work experience, the discussions that we have in our class are very high order. So that is what is very unique about ODCL.
So I can imagine couples fighting over some cases in the classrooms, maybe. And going to next important point is field internship, because ODCL is the only course where you need work ex. Everybody needs work ex. So, coming from a background which is not necessarily OD background or HR background, studying OD for 1 year and, maybe lesser, in the field internships, and going back to another company. Most probably it's another company. It's not the company that you worked with earlier. How does that work out? That looks a very big change in first place. So it's a mix of field internships and summer internships with different companies, different industries probably. How does that play around?
So in this, I think the course is structured in such a way that it makes it easier for us to transition from, like you mentioned, coming from a work ex and then going to coming to college and then going to other industries. Like if I like in the first semester we have introduction to OD, so that introduces you to OD. Then there are subjects which delves deeper into OD. So the structure is laid out in such a way that that helps in the transition. Second thing is, like you mentioned about field work or field internship. So when we go to the organization, the contracting is done by the school. So we do not have any involvement with the organization. They get the companies and we involve with them. So they set a context with them that these are first semester students, these are second semester students. So the projects that are given to us are also aligned with that contract, whatever they have told to the organization. So I think it helps. The organization also knows that these are okay first semester students. We can't give them higher order projects. So in that way, contracting is done. So that also helps us. It's not overwhelming. And all the organizations that I have been to are pretty big organizations. Like I have been to, in the first one, I was in Cummins India Limited. In the second one, I was in Cipla. In third one, I was in Tata Mutual Fund. All these are very big organizations. But I think the college sets up a good context. So the burden doesn't come directly to us. And during the fieldwork, we have a faculty mentor as well as an organization mentor. So they help us in, getting through our fieldwork. And all this fieldwork, like you mentioned, again, we'll be going to some company. But over the 2 years, 4 semesters, we have associated with about 4 organizations. So it helps us in transitioning. It's not a permanent thing. So we are continuously working with the organization. We are coming back to college. Again, we are going to an organization, and this goes on for 2 years. So I think that helps a lot.
And as Mayur mentioned, we do have good industry relations with the leaders outside. So it is actually helps us with the context building, and whenever we go there, we are welcomed very nicely also there. And the projects that are given to us are very good projects. It's not like that we are giving any random project. They are live projects that they are working on. So we get to learn a lot in the field projects, and also we have 4 field internships and 1 summer internship. So there is a lot of industries that we also cover in this whole 2 year.
When you go to, let's say, a live project or let's say this field internship, I'm sure a live setting is always more complex than what you study. It's always. So when you come back, apart from being more fulfilling and more satisfying, do you come back with more questions about what you have studied and how does things play out? I mean, how is the situation?
Definitely.
So I can talk about my field internship. So there are concepts that are taught in class. I mean, we do study it, we do try to relate it our previous work ex. But when you actually work hands-on that field internship, it gives you a broader horizon. It actually, like Sir mentioned, gives you more questions as well to ask. There's more relation. I mean, we did see it in our class, and I'm sure Mayur will speak the same, that the discussions are travels to a different level on a higher note, that people have relevant experiences. Like, let's say somebody had a field internship in HR. Let's say one of my friends, she was in Mondelez. So she had a different perspective. I went to Tata Motors and I was working on a different HR and ER project. So I had a different relation. So the conversations become more rich, and of course our learnings are more enhanced.
The ODCL course is designed in such a way that we work on a learn, apply, learn model. So during our semester 1, we have learned a number of theories, different concepts. Then in our first internship, we get to apply those. While we apply those, we get to learn about the intricacies and the complexities of the industry. We bring all those questions back to the class. The discussions also become very diverse. People with different backgrounds, with different experiences in field internship, with different knowledge that they have learned now. So the discussions become very rich.
We don't have to wait for those questions to be answered in semester 2. The faculty is always available through email, and the cohort is available on WhatsApp. So it's like real-time answers we're getting.
End of the day, it's real-time learning. It's a cycle of learning that keeps happening. Questions keep coming up. Great. So, coming to the main thing that a lot of people would be more, interested in as of now, they're more worried about as of now, is the interview thing. And probably the only course where they prefer, they prescribe books to read. At least one book you must read. So, what's your take on that? How did you prepare? And what would you suggest? What would you advise to people who are aspiring to, come to an OD kind of a course?
So for me, it was 2 years ago, so it might not be as fresh as other people here. So for me, what I remember very discreetly is the interviews of TISS, they are very comprehensive. It's not like what I've experienced in other B schools where they will probably take it for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, like that. Those are very comprehensive. My interviews was probably about 40, 45 minutes. There are 3 interview panelists. They will ask you questions from different backgrounds and they will give you a chance to speak, make your point clear. So they are not in a hurry to, just get 15 minutes interview 100 people a day. They are not thinking like this. They select very, they do their work very thoroughly. So, and that will be reflected in the interviews. So first thing that I would mention is, do not worry, you don't need to rush into things. Second one is, they will ask you question relevant to your work ex, what you have done, how are you able to associate what you are going to learn and whatever you have experienced. So it would be a good thing if you can make a correlation about this. Third thing would be, I think they have introduced GDs as well this time. So like I mentioned, if they give a lot of time in interviews, so that would be the case in GDs as well. That is what I'm expecting. So in terms of books also, they have recommended some books. Although you do not need to read each and every concept, each and every page of it, but you need to have some basic understanding of things like what is OD, how is it different from management consulting, or how is it different from change management, how is it different from HR. All these are very basic things that do not need books necessarily. You can find this on internet as well, but books provide you a logical and a more thorough answer for this. So that's why it is very helpful if you read at least one of those 5 books. And next thing is, there will be questions which are not very technical. Like they will ask you some random questions which checks your presence of mind. Like they will ask you questions like, let's say there is something that was asked to me, like there is, let's say, Hindustan Motors, it is defunct, and let's say this organization wants to come back into the automobile industry. So what kind of strategy would you think? So there are no right or wrong answers to this. You just need to be thorough with your concept. You need to have business awareness, what other industries are doing, what's going on in what industry. So such kind of general awareness and general knowledge can, help you in a lot of ways.
In my interview, I prepared, as in I was very thorough with what I was doing in my company. And I remember I had already read a book by Wendell French before appearing for my interview. Also, my interview was divided into 3 sections. So first section was about tell me about yourself, about my background. Second was around the organization behavior theories and everything. And the third section was around my behavioral questions. So that is how my interview went. And my suggestion would be very clear and always set a context before answering any of the questions that is posed to you.
Well, one thing that would be imperative for GD and PI both is a current affairs knowledge. Like, be aware of your surrounding, what's happening around, what's the biggest news that's, be on the social media or anything on the discussion. So do pick it up, because I was faced with it in my interview and many of my friends would agree with it. That would help in GD. So first, about GD, be clear, be logical, and be respectful of others. Like, I would never suggest to, cut off someone to prove your point, because there, instead of gaining one, you lose 1 point. So be respectful of others, be logical in your answering stream. Then about personal interviews, I would suggest that be thorough with your work ex, because OD is mandating 2 years of work ex to come to the campus. So be thorough with what your work is, and because there might be many questions regarding to your work ex, like in the challenging situations and whatever you read. Like, many of the books are present on the website. I personally refer TV Rao. So try to relate those concepts to your work ex. If there is any phenomena or any topic, did you experience such a thing in your company while you were working? So, comprehensive of all these things and be confident. And one last thing is keep smiling in your interview. It goes a long way and sets a very positive tone for the interview.
For interview, I would say that they are looking at 3 key things. 3 ABCs. So they are attitude and your awareness, for your behavior and your background, for your confidence and commitment. So these are the 3 ABCs that you should look at. The book that I referred for by interview was by Organization Development by Linda Holbesch. And for the GD, I would say that it is a group discussion and not a group debate. So as important as it is to speak, it is equally important to listen. Then respect your peers, respect the time limit, respect the panel that is there, and speak points that are relevant. And I think that would help you get through the GDPI.
And I think because, WorkX is there with every person here, whichever book you read, you'll have to read one book at least. I mean, read book or read it through internet, whatever is the case. Try to see, those concepts, those things, those problems that you see in that book. Try to see where you have seen those things in your WorkX at your workplace. That's very important. If you can link it to that, that goes on to say that, yes, you have done your work and you have been thorough. Yeah.
So, sir mentioned a very important point. In my ODCL interview, I was asked 2 questions where I was told to identify a problem in my previous organization and how I would apply OD to it. And so I was able to successfully apply in both those cases. And I think that was the point where I converted ODCL.
And I would add one thing to that. Even if they're not, if they don't ask that question specifically, how do you apply it to your company? Try to inculcate that thing in your answer somehow. That, in my company, this used to happen or that used to be the case. That's what I see, we can implement as a change or something like that. Try to, make, it's like it shows your interest. You're curious about that, and that's, that goes into, add a lot of things to your profile. Okay. So, but yeah, I think we had a very great discussion, and I would thank all our friends from first year and second year, and all the best. You'll be going to your job very soon. And to all the people who are watching this and who are aspiring to come to ODCL, all the best. And thank you guys. Thank you.